Hey, Francis Piros.
Yes, Piros.
So last we talked, you helped me see the idealist view and the realist view. And I'm going to ask this question uh, with the knowledge that I don't like philosophy, I don't study philosophy. Nonetheless, this has become a philosophical issue. So, I came to the understanding of I amness being beyond the physicality of the world. Hence, I lived the realist view as a scientist most of my life. I mean, as quantum mechanics taught me that there's more to I am to me than the materialistic particles, whatever you want to call them. So this view of the idealist, which I had no idea about until I did this differential comparison of nature of perceptions in dream and awakeness and wakefulness, and I realized that they're all the same. So you pointed out that I need to be in the not knowing, and so contemplating that, to me, then the not knowing, what I take it to be is that I know that I am, but I have no freaking idea what I am. And that's all there is to that not knowing. There is nothing more to it. I always am. The not knowing is I don't know what I am.
You don't know what you are phenomenally, because ultimately we are not a phenomenon. Our real self, our reality, is not a phenomenon. So in that sense, yes. We don't know what we are because we could be potentially anything, right? Also.
Correct. Exactly. So not knowing is a form of knowing, that's what I am, knowing.
Yes. And when we say, this is a question there are various questions about what we are. Because there is a question, what am I? There is the question, why am I? And there are the questions, how am I? These are slightly different questions.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so out of this question, the question, what am I? Because I'm not an object, I am an experience.
Mm-hmm.
And the answer to this question is, I am that, or rather, I am this, and I am this and that, which are one, mm-hmm. Right? Mm-hmm. So the answer to the question, what am I, is the immediacy of our experience.
Yes.
Then we use words for that, such as the immediacy of our experience, but it is the answer to the question, what? Now, the question how is different, because the question how doesn't refer to the essence of the object, but rather to its qualities, right?
Mm-hmm.
So regarding phenomena, we have phenomenal qualities, such as in case of physical objects, we can say the size, the color, the mass of the object, the electrical charge, whatever, you know, the spin number, and etc. So in the case of physical objects, we have all kinds of answers to the question how, in fact. Now, if you say that I don't know what I am, that's true, as I have said. But it is not true to say, to make the statement, I don't know how I am. I don't know my qualities. Because I know some of my qualities. For instance, to be aware is one of my qualities. And I know that. Right? Yes. But I don't know it through the channel through which I know that this flower is red, that it is a flower, and that its weight is 30 grams. No, I don't know that in the same way.
I agree. It's a very direct thing. It's the immediacy of me and being aware.
Yes, but nevertheless, it refers to one of my qualities.
Okay.
In other words, it doesn't answer the question, what am I? Because the question, what am I? The answer is, I am this and that, and they are the same right now and always. So, because I am an experience. But how am I? You know, so then, oh yes, I am aware. That's one quality. And there are other qualities of my I amness. And such as I'm real. Now, I am real implies also I am being, which implies also I am that which is, which implies also I've always been and will always be. So all these qualities that I've just mentioned, for some of us are hidden. They are nominal qualities. For some of us are hidden by the belief, by the residual belief to be a separate entity. So the reality of our being, its infinity, its independence, are also other nominal qualities of what I am. They are very much like awareness. And there are other qualities, peace, love, happiness, beauty. And these qualities also are hidden by the unawareness of our true nature. In other words, by the belief to be separate and limited. Some of these qualities get revealed through glimpses. The most important quality that gets revealed through glimpses, the most important glimpse is a glimpse of our reality and infinity.
The expansion. So that's the expansion that's felt. This
reality, our independence from anything
else.
And that's a liberating glimpse versus a glimpse of love, a glimpse of beauty, a glimpse of intelligence, these are not necessarily liberating glimpses. But nevertheless, intelligence, love, beauty are nevertheless noumenal qualities, meaning qualities of that which I am.
Yes.
So to say that I don't know what I am is true, because what I am is this experience, but it is not true if it means that I cannot have access to qualities of what I am. In other words, that I cannot know my qualities.
Perfect.
I can know my qualities. Some qualities are evident for all beings.
Mm-hmm.
Some qualities are hidden veiled by ignorance.
Okay, so if one or two of these qualities overshadow all the others, does that mean that the residual ignorance or unawareness still is operating? Or I guess to put it the other way, is it a absolute necessity to, you have told me this before, you have to go all three ways or all the ways to the truth or to the reality.
Yeah. We have to be open to the absolute so that we can really merge with it. That's
But you see, it's not a choice, if I may interrupt. It is just what happens. It is what it is. That, it's not that, I mean, it's not that I don't appreciate beauty or love but the shebang of the first quality of it is the reality of it, and the expansion of it is so humbling that nothing else can be felt or seen or appreciated. Does that make sense?
All I can say is that something seems to be missing, although you have the recognition that nothing is missing.
Okay, and hope you will be able to show me that the reason is what you said the other day about feelings being nothing but bodily sensation. That has reinforced this understanding in me that, so what's the fuss about, all this fuss about being worry-free or being happy? Because these are all bodily sensations, and this body is nothing but a minuscule presentation. I mean, so tell me what's missing? And it's the truth. I mean, when the past couple of days, you're right. Everything, feelings are that, just bodily sensations.
We cannot at the same time, we cannot speak from both sides of our mouth at the same time. In other words, we cannot be at the same time worrying and pretending that there are no worries.
No, I'm not worrying. I can tell you that for sure, because when I worry, I can feel it in my chest, in my top of my stomach, or in my muscles vibrating.
So then you say, what is this big deal about worries and all of that stuff? I don't know where that comes from.
It comes from the fact that when I stand as the reality and the immensity, none of this is the overshadowing that I'm talking about. So that I don't want to say locks anything, but it is so, it's got the pull, it's got the grab, it's got so much pull into it when you go into it and the depths of it. None of this other stuff really surface to even.
So then you see the teaching is there only to address some kind of worries or some sense of lack, because the only goal of the teaching is to take one to the worryless condition, to the annihilation of the worries. So if you tell me that you have no worries, I say fine. I don't have any either, so I have nothing to tell you.
You, me, I, synonymous with no body, to have bodily sensations, to be labeled worry, i.e. not identifying with this mass here.
Well, a bodily sensation, a worry is more than a bodily sensation.
Only because it's charged with a thought, right?
It's more than a thought and a bodily sensation. It's more than that. You see, because what it relates to is to ignorance.
Mm-hmm.
And ignorance is much more than a thought or a bodily sensation.
Without a doubt. Oh, I have no doubt about that. Yes.
Okay.
I do not have any doubt about that. That ignorance is effort. I have to, it literally is an effort to be ignorant now. To be unaware, I guess. I hate the word ignorant, but yeah, it is an effort to be unaware, to pull myself out of this being reality.
But it's more than that. Because what does effort mean? For whom is there an effort? What is the nature of effort? In this case,
is to believing being separate. Yes, is to coming out of stillness.
The effort is, in fact, as you just said, has its origin in a belief which wants to perpetuate itself through some form of activity. So the effort is a belief.
Mm-hmm.
And the belief itself, what is a belief? It's an act of will.
Yes.
Right? Because
yes.
Since there is no evidence, I'm not saying that for you, but for everybody, since there is no evidence that awareness is limited, to believe that it is limited is an act of will, of awareness. In other words, it's a decision made by the universe. Mm-hmm. We have to understand. And the decision made by the universe is something else than a thought or a bodily sensation. The thought and the bodily sensation, in by themselves, they are just what they are. Mm-hmm. So unawareness, aka ignorance, mm-hmm. Unawareness is in fact an expression of the freedom of the absolute, choosing to play this game. That it is very important to understand that. I hear some teachers say that ignorance is just made out of thoughts and bodily sensations. There's something missing there, for the very reason that I can understand, for instance, let's say I can understand Marxism without being a communist. Mm-hmm. So the difference is Marxism is a set of concepts. Being a communist is my claim, my choice to mm-hmm. declare that these concepts are true. And so in this, if there is no evidence that they are true, it's like a religion also, deciding that Jesus was born out of a virgin, right? So that's a decision which is made in the absence of evidence, or quasi-absence of evidence. So then it's more than the concept of immaculate conception, because I can have the concept of immaculate conception without at all believing in it. I don't know, as an MD, I don't know what's your position on the subject, but it seems far-fetched to me. So, right?
Yes.
So therefore, in the absence of scientific evidence, if I choose to believe that to be true, then that's an act that comes from my freedom, right? So that it's very important to understand this distinction. So going back to this worry, what we have agreed upon is that if there is worries, is because ultimately there is ignorance, and if there is ignorance, is because of unawareness. It's because it's a decision I am making as awareness to play this game.
Yes.
Just as I decide, to be a Christian, to be a Muslim, to be a Hindu, or to be whatever. It's not like the color of my skin that I don't choose, right? Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I'm born with it, or my gender. I have no choice. But my religion, that's a choice I make.
Indeed, very liberating. Thank you, Francis.